Hello friends, I hope you are well. Techman Pat here. Today we are reviewing this. The HyperX Armada 25-inch Full HD gaming monitor. That's right, HyperX is now in the gaming monitor game. You may have seen their peripherals, their accessories, even a microphone, but this one right here is their first foray into the gaming monitor scene. Now they do have another version, the 27-inch, that's a QHD version. This one right here is the 25, and it fits specifically into the almost professional or maybe semi-professional competitive gaming crowd. So big thanks to HyperX for sending me this monitor for review. Let's get started by rolling the intro. There's a couple of unique things about this monitor. First of all, as you can see, it floats, and that's because it comes with its own arm. As you can see, there's really no wobble unless you actually hit it, and if I move the desk, it's fine too. And of course, the arm is so strong it stays in place and doesn't sag. It is a VESA mounted monitor, and of course, you can pop it off and on really quickly. And that's where the uniqueness kind of ends. It's a single all-in-one package for a desk-mounted monitor that is 1080p, 240 Hz, IPS with a fantastic contrast. It is only 25 inches, which a lot of people might say that's a little bit small, and unfortunately it is. However, it is the perfect size for 1080p competitive gaming use. And after using this for a couple of weeks, it's exactly for that. So let's talk about my experience with it, and then I'm going to give you my opinion if this is worthwhile, because the one thing that's holding it back right now is the price. As mentioned, the monitor is 1080p, which means the games you're going to be playing don't need a very powerful computer. That's a kind of a big tick box these days when parts are particularly expensive. Secondly, it's a 240 Hz monitor. The refresh rate is incredible. I love 240. I know 144 was sort of like, oh, do we really need to go further? And I think at 240, I can definitely say we don't need to go any further. At this point in time, the diminishing returns are there. What it does do is mean that your games there are in the competitive space, like CSGO, maybe Call of Duty, even Fortnite, can get those high frame rates and make the experience extremely smooth. It also has a response time of 1 millisecond, which makes it even better to use. It is so responsive, there is no delay in your movements, and again, it comes back to that competitive edge. Every single millisecond counts. It has two HDMI 2.0 plugs in the back, which means you can connect a next-gen console and use the 120 Hz mode. Not that really any games on those consoles run at 120 Hz, there's really no point, so it doesn't really matter. But it does have DisplayPort 1.4, which hits it hard home and allows you to use the entire bandwidth. The experience of gaming on this monitor ranges from awesome to kind of like and the reason I say that is because it's meant for a specific subset of games, and those are usually your first-person shooters that require high frame rates, low response times, and of course a resolution to the point where it doesn't really matter. And that's why 1080p at 25 inches is just right at 240 Hz. It means that you can run games like CSGO at high refresh rates and get that competitive edge. The problem with this is that it is a low resolution, and if you want to go play games like, for example, Diablo 4, it is just not that beautiful experience that you want to get out of a game like that. Playing Anno 1800 on this was not great either. There's a lot of tiny details in the actual map, and you kind of want to see them. Over time, you don't notice it, and my best experience was playing Call of Duty on this and CSGO. I did enjoy a bit of Doom on here. That was really fun just because of the extremely high refresh rate, and the grain effect on the game actually reduced the way the pixelation looked on a 1080p resolution. Now, it is an IPS panel, and there's something quite unique about it. Even though this doesn't have HDR at all, which really isn't a problem for who this is for, the IPS contrast on this is incredible. The blacks are really deep. So games look great, especially those games that have a lot of dark areas. And I have to say, it was almost like cheating in a way, because I was really able to see much better in the darker areas of the games that I played. Now, adding on to the lack of HDR, this also lacks a USB hub in it and an audio jack. Now, I'm gonna say, who cares about the audio jack and who cares about speakers? No problem at all. I don't really care for my monitor to have speakers. They're never great, it increases the price, but a USB hub in there would be pretty nice. So you could plug in your wireless keyboard or your wireless headphones into the bottom of this and hide them away and route the cables through the arm out the back. Now, because the frame rate is extremely high, G-Sync doesn't really come in useful. Yes, this monitor has it, but it only really helps at almost the highest end and the lowest 30 to 60 frames. So when your game is running at 240 locked on, or you've limited to 240, G-Sync isn't going to be doing a massive job. Ultimately, this monitor is for your competitive esport gamer. It is the perfect size. It has an arm that can be added to an assortment of other monitors. It reduces the amount of cables that are on your desk, and that's fantastic. The routing is really good, and it's a really light monitor. And of course, if you're spending a lot of time in front of this monitor, the ability to move this up and down really easily is actually really beneficial to your posture and to allow you to game longer. And as mentioned, small details are a little bit lacking because of the 90 ppi pixel density. You'll still be able to read small text, no problem at all, but you will notice it if you've ever used anything higher than a 1080p screen. This is a performance monitor for a competitive gamer, and it also can do a bunch of other things which the arm is good at, which is also flipping it in portrait mode. But ultimately, if you're buying a 240 Hz monitor, this isn't the way you're going to be using it. It's good to know the arm is capable of moving it up and down very, very well and holding that position. But I think if you're going to pay the amount of money that this costs, you're going to want to use it in front of you. So let's talk about the price, because this is where the monitor kind of falls apart. It's around 730 Australian dollars for a 25-inch 1080p screen with a 240 Hz refresh rate and G-Sync. An IPS panel does add a little bit of cost, and all of that is fantastic on paper. However, the price is a little bit high. So friends, can I recommend this? If it drops another $200, $250, that is a bargain of an excellent competitive gaming monitor.
All right, everybody, stop what you're doing. I just saw this monitor for 48% off on Amazon. That price makes this monitor an absolute steal, but that's only as of editing this video, but check out the links below.
If you see this on sale, make sure to check it out. Big thanks to HyperX for sending me this for review. In all honesty, I'm excited for more competition in the monitor space, and if HyperX can create this, I'm sure they can do even better. I'd love to see some curved monitors, ultra-wide monitors. I cannot wait to see more from these guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in another video. Bye!